as you sign in, but if for whatever reason you're not, just please mute yourself. That way we don't have echoes or any disruptions as we go through.
Hey, Andrew, before you get started, we do have one question that might be good for everybody to know. Michael is interested to know how long the Zoom is gonna go for.
So we have a hard cutoff at around an hour and a half, but a good chunk of that is open Q&A. So I'm going to try to keep this close to about 45 minutes if I can, and then that will give us another 45 or so for Q&A. We are going to do some technical build outs in this one, so it might go a little bit longer. But I've kind of gone through it a little bit, so hopefully the training portion of it should wrap up about 45 minutes, no longer than an hour for sure. The recording, John, the recording should be up tomorrow. Usually we get it up within a day. So we'll post that on our website, and we'll email and text out a link so you all have that. Amy, you should be able to use the same link. Yeah, so you should be able to just forward that email to her, and she should be able to jump on through that. Jerry, you should have an email with it. The last one should have went through about an hour ago. I think 10:50 or something like that. Yes, Ashley, the recording will be available for everybody that attends. Yeah. Cool, guys. If you're on, can you go ahead and there should be a chat box there. Can you go ahead and just let us know where you're tuning in from? This just to make sure everybody knows how to use the chat box. So we have Kansas, Maryland, Texas, Colorado, everywhere really. Louisville, Florida. Nice. Very good. Looks like everybody knows how to use the chat box. Arizona, Tennessee. Nice. Philippines. Wow. Well, right now we have about 100 people on, a little less than that. Typically, these webinars have gotten pretty darn big. I think the last one we had about 170 people on it. So I'm sure a few more people will tune in. But what we'll do is we'll go through some training, and then toward the end, as we wrap things up, Ashley's going to handle some Q&A. Ashley, are you still there right now?
I am here, and I'm going to go ahead and let everybody know I'm in the chat. I'm keeping an eye on your questions, and I will tee them up for Andrew.
Very good. Well, cool, guys. I think I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it because I want to make sure that we get through. We have a lot to cover. Typically on these webinars, we actually, we usually cover kind of a high level strategic approach. This one specifically, we're still going to cover that, but we're actually going to go in and build out an ad inside of the ad manager. The goal of this particular training is actually for our partners in our partner program. If you haven't heard anything about that, you can check it out. Ashley will go ahead and put a link in the chat box, but through our partnership program, we provide a lot of training, content, material, all these things for you guys. So this webinar will be recorded. It will be posted, but for a limited time. And then after a couple of weeks or so, we're going to take it down, and it's going to be exclusively for our partners. So if you haven't looked into that, check it out. Go through the link. It's free to sign up. A lot of great benefits in there. And we can talk a little bit more as we go throughout. But so a little bit about myself, just to get into things. I've been in the marketing space for about 10 years now, actually getting closer to about 15, but have been in multiple industries. I've worked with a lot of different businesses, from authors to experts, doing bestseller campaigns, worked with local businesses, roofers, lawn care, things like that, and have pretty much done everything there is to do. And when it comes to the online marketing space, from social content creation, building out sales funnel, website development, just about everything. But if I had to say I had a specialty, my specialty would be in marketing strategy and advertising, which is what we're going to go through today. But my goal here and on these trainings is I try to give you guys systems in place that work for whatever stage of business you're in. So if you're just starting out and you're trying to get your first customers, or you've been in the game for a while and maybe you're doing, multiple 6 figures, 7 figures, and you're trying to scale from there, these systems should work for you. Regardless of that, it's just how much ad spend you want to push behind it and really just push things forward. So kind of think about this training kind of like a water faucet, something that you can, turn on with just a trickle to get yourself going, or if you're really trying to build and scale, you can crank it up. So that's just kind of the way to think about these strategies. They work in both situations. We've already kind of gone through the chat box, but if you're participating, we are going to have Q&A. So feel free to ask questions, type in questions. We're going to answer them at the end. You should be able to pull up the chat box and type your questions in there. Everybody should be muted, so we're just going to operate through the chat box. So with all that said, kind of the housekeeping, we'll just go ahead and get right into it. So before we really get into the Facebook side of things, we want to talk more about the marketing side. Before you get in there and you start creating an ad, it's probably a good idea to start thinking through your marketing plan and strategy. So you want to think about who you're going to target, your target demographic. Are you going to focus on more like affluent customers or middle class, things like that, their household income, residential, commercial, all of that good stuff. And then you want to think through your marketing budget. So when I sit down with our partners and anybody that I help with running ads for the Christmas light season, we tend to encourage them to think through a marketing budget of somewhere between 5 to 10% of what their goal is, right? So if you're wanting to do, $100,000, then you want to think through somewhere between 5 to 10 grand to at least wrap your mind around that to invest in your marketing. In many cases, we don't even hit that number, but from a business mindset, that's what you want to have in your head, so that you are kind of you get a little wiggle room in there to make a few mistakes, to try a few things, test things, and still should have plenty of juice in that marketing strategy so that you're hitting your goals. And then from there, if things are rocking and rolling, typically as you grow, as your business begins to grow, you start to see referrals. A lot of people see your truck wraps, your trailer wraps, things like that, and they start talking to you. So as your business grows, you don't actually have to put as much into your marketing budget as you might when you start out, just because you kind of have this flywheel effect where it kind of starts to snowball. But just kind of think through your strategy for the season. 5 to 10% is a good budget. And then if you can look at your customers. In many cases, if you go to, I believe it's Facebook. On Facebook, you should be able to go to your competitors, and you will be able to kind of look at what they're doing. Let me see if I can pull somebody up real quick. So let's look at, let's say, landscape lighting, because we're not in the Christmas light season yet. So we'll say landscaping service. And this company's already running ads. So if you go to one of your competitors, you should be able to go through, and it's usually in the About section where it says Page Transparency. You click on that, it will tell you if this company is running ads. And if you click on to learn more, you can go to an actual ad library. And the link is, you can go straight there by going facebook.com/ads/library. That's the link I forgot. But through this Facebook ads library, you can start doing competitor research and see what's going on out there. So this is an example of landscaping, but as we get closer to the Christmas light season, you can type in things like Christmas light installation, Christmas lights, and you can see the different type of ads that people are running. So it's a great tool to kind of spy on your competitors, to see what people are doing, get you some ideas, kind of figure out, what offer people might be leading with, things like that. So it's a great tool. And again, that's facebook.com/ads/library. But you start doing some competitor research as we get closer to the season. And then we want to start putting together your marketing plan. I'm not going to go into this too much, but between doing like digital advertising and traditional advertising, things like postcards, yard signs, things like that, we usually recommend combining about 2 or 3 of those at least as your core strategy. For most of you, unless you've been in the game for a while, we don't really recommend trying to do everything. We tend to tell people to focus on 2 or 3, make them your core strategies, and that pushes the majority of your results. And then as you get those things kind of locked in, then you can start playing and adding other strategies around that. We are getting pretty close to that. We usually do our webinar at the end, the last Wednesday of the month, but we did a little bit early because we think most people really need to be ready to go going into October. So you want to get this plan in place, start getting your ad campaign set up. From watching this and the recording on this, you should be able to get your ads set up and ready to go this week, and you can just turn them on going into October. Also, last thing before we really get into building out the ads, we want to think through what we call your conversion mechanism. So making sure that your website is up and running and it's optimized. Definitely want to make sure that your website is mobile friendly now. Majority of people are going to find you through mobile. Google My Business, now it's called Google Business Profile, but Google My Business, make sure that Google knows that you exist, that you're there, links back to your website. Social media profiles, you're going to want to set up your social media, Facebook and Instagram. You don't have to have Instagram set up. You can run ads on Instagram even without an Instagram account. But just want to make sure everything's, ready to go. So when you are actually investing in your advertising, those advertising dollars are not being wasted when leads come in and you're not following up and there's no, sales process in place. So make sure those are all, ready to go before you turn your ads on. And with that said, let's get into actually building out the ad. This is kind of your pre-planning before we go into the ads manager here in a little bit. We want to actually think through and build out the ad. So we're going to kind of go through it. If you are a partner, you're going to have access to this already, and you'll see that here in a minute where we've already created the templates. So you'll be able to just go in, take that, copy and paste it, put it into the ads manager as you're building out your ad profile. So first thing you want to think through is your offer. Man, it looks like somebody is writing on my screen. Ashley, do you know who that is? Can you see that?
I don't, but I'm going in there and looking at it.
I don't know how they're able to do that. Anyways, we'll keep rolling. So you want to think through like your pricing. One thing that is helpful is a lot of times in the Christmas light space, you have a lot of people that want you to hang their own lights. They're looking, they think you're going to do a $1,500 job for $300, things like that. So it's always a good idea to consider putting in your starting price in your ads. It's definitely something to test. One of the things that we tend to stick with is more of like a percentage off for early installation. So early installation by either Thanksgiving or mid-November, whatever date you want to set, running a percentage off discount for early installation is what a lot of people go with, and that seems to work really well. Offering free quote, also limited time, almost booked out, things like that. Scarcity works really well as you move closer in towards the end of the season. Then you want to think through the benefits, anything that you might want to put in there. Your holiday lighting made easy. Let us do the dangerous work for you. Things like that. Status, have the best lit home in the neighborhood. And then you can combine those two, get the best lit home without the hassle, that sort of thing. And you'll see how this all kind of comes together here in a little bit. Then risk reversal. So letting them know that you are insured, also giving them guarantees, satisfaction guarantee, things like that. Are also great to put in your ad. And then your process. So what we like to do is, most people don't really understand what the process looks like to go through Christmas, like actually working with the Christmas light installer. So we like to put that in our advertising on our website, in any of our marketing. Just let them know, like, here's the steps. Step one, get a quote, pick your design. We're going to install it. We're going to maintain it. Make sure if a light goes out that, we'll go and replace it throughout the season. Then we're going to take it down at the end of the holiday season. So go ahead and put that in your ads. Great to have in there. And then through the copy, there are a lot of things that we can substitute. So some of this is going to be very simple, but like holiday lighting and Christmas lighting, you can substitute those out. Service, installation, depending on your market, professional, commercial, or custom. Those are all interchangeable copy wording and headlines and things like that. For example, if you're looking at a headline, Christmas or holiday lighting service, $200 off holiday lighting installation, calling out your target market. So attention, Dallas homeowners, Atlanta homeowners, that sort of thing. We hang Christmas lights. All of these are great headlines. So we have these in our swipe file for you guys. I'm not going to go through all of them, but that's available to our partners. So you can just copy and paste those into your ad. Whenever we build it out, you'll see exactly how simple it is. And we've tried to just make it as easy as possible for you guys. So to bring it all together, you can kind of see how we add all of these things together. Attention, Dallas homeowners. Also, don't be afraid to use emojis with Christmas light season. A lot of people like that. Christmas trees, Santa, snowflakes, that sort of thing. But get custom Christmas light installation for your home. Certified Lights is now serving the North Dallas, Plano, Frisco, Garland, McKinney, and surrounding areas. Sit back and relax. Let us do the dangerous work for you, and so forth. And just have your link in there. Make sure you have a call to action. Get a free quote, and always put your link in the body text as well as on the ad. So that's kind of the body copy, and then a little bit of to go into before we actually build out an ad. Just one of the how important it really is with Facebook these days is one of the great things about Facebook is that Facebook right now is still the #1 social platform out there. Facebook also owns Instagram. So through just one advertising platform, we can hit both of those social networks and reach the majority of social media users right now. But what makes Facebook so great is that it just, they know everything about us through your profile. They know where you live, location, your interest, your hobby, based on what you click on, things like that, behavior, and your income, which is what's really helpful when it comes to targeting. So where people live and their income status, or their household income status, those are two things that we're really going to focus on targeting whenever we are setting up our Facebook ads. So an example of what this will look like, and like I said, we will build this out, but if we want to target someone that was, 30 years or older, I'm using an example here of Waco because I'm originally from the Waco area, and I know where these neighborhoods are and where the higher income homes are. I can target those areas and I can tell Facebook, hey, we want to focus on people in the top upper 10% income bracket in these areas, and we can really tighten it down to like a 1 to 2 mile radius. And I'll show that. If you put it in a city, just a little heads up, if you type in a city, you're only going to be able to tighten it to about 10-mile radius. But there is a way that we can get down to a 1 mile radius through dropping a pin. And I'll show that as we build out the ad here in a little bit. And then if we wanted to focus on more commercial side of things, we could do the same thing. We just broaden that area. We might cover an entire city, and then we're just going to target business owners and operators. So compared to like traditional advertising, we can get very focused, where if you were running a normal ad, like a billboard, or even like running postcards, we can get somewhat detailed on our postcards campaigns through Everydoor direct mail, but it is still limited on how targeted we can get. So through Facebook and everything that's on Facebook and Instagram, we can get really focused. So that's what makes it so appealing. Some examples here are just showing your work. Definitely show your work. And so pictures, you can also use your postcards, any other marketing material that you have. It's always good to throw that in there. The way we're going to set up an ad, we're going to be able to use multiple creatives. So you're going to want to throw a bunch of different things in there to try out, and that way you're not just running one ad that's pinging your target customer constantly. So again, calling out your target audience, attention, Lake Belton residents or Dallas residents, that sort of thing. In creatives, like I said, show your work. If we're going to focus on, another thing, if you're going to focus on like affluent markets versus like middle class, make sure whatever images you're using matches that. So you don't want to target, a middle class neighborhood and have a multi-million-dollar home pictured on your ad. It's just not going to match, or vice versa. So that's just basic stuff. It's, just thinking through it, you'll kind of know what to do there, but use multiple images. Like I said, other thing is don't overthink it. Just make sure that everything's clear, have a good image in it, of good quality work, high resolution. Formatting wise, Facebook allows you to crop the image, but if you are going to get like professional photography or a super high quality image, the Instagram is 1080 by 1080 and Facebook is 940 by 788 pixels. So those are just kind of the formatting of those images. Other things you can do is use graphics. So again, we've created some of these templates for you guys in our partnership program. So you'll just be able to go in there, take these templates, throw them in your ad campaign. If there's anything like the website or your target market, you can just change those out. So a good resource for this, creating these images, is also canva.com. So through our partnership program, you'll have links to templates that I've created for you guys that you'll be able to, all you'll really need to do is create an account with Canva, which is free, and then you'll get access to our templates. And all you have to do is change them out if you want to make them yourself. Videos, if you have videos, drone footage, a lot of people will do drone footage, or they'll, take videos with their iPhone, stuff like that. Those are great to use in there. And again, when we do this, we're going to mix and match all of these. The way we set these ad campaigns up, you'll see in a minute that we're going to get to use a lot of different creative. So it looks like we're running a lot of ads and we're not pounding our target audience with the same thing over and over and over again. But yeah, these right here, we've also created these for you. These are also available in the partnership program. Let's see if I can get one to play. There we go. They're just kind of cheesy, but people love them. They work really well. It's kind of like a post, and it's a video. Let's see if I can get this one to play. Maybe. Yeah. So again, kind of cheesy, picture of the house, overlay with some music, and it pretty much is a video, so it's going to show up differently in different places through the ad campaign. So we want to mix both of those in there. All of these, again, like I said, are available in the partnership program, free to you guys. So you just grab them, download them. You can upload them into your ads campaign. You can post with them, all of that good stuff. So, and then the other thing, through Facebook marketing, we can do a strategy, what we call retargeting. It's one of my favorite strategies. Pretty much what most people do is, if they might receive an ad from you or hear about you, but they don't make that decision right away. Maybe they hear about you in October and they're just not in that Christmas mindset, or maybe they've never done it. They want to think about it. But a lot of times people will kind of see your ad and they go on about their business. What we want to do is we want to show them our ad over and over again. And we do that through a strategy called retargeting. The way this works is we put this little bit of code called the Facebook pixel, or that's what Facebook calls their code, but we put it on your website. And what that does is it pretty much tags anybody that comes to your website. So if they show up on their phone, on their computer, laptop, whatever, it'll put a tracking cookie on that device. So whenever they leave and they go back to Instagram or Facebook, Facebook goes, oh, this person was at your website. Do you want us to show them more ads? And we can tell them, yeah, go ahead and show them more ads. So that way we're staying in front of them. When they go back to Facebook, they see our ad again. When they go back to Instagram, they see our ad again. We can also do this through Google, which is a different training, but we can do that through the Google Ads platform. So we're really just kind of staying in front of them everywhere they go. So if you ever like search for something online and then you see ads for that thing everywhere, that's retargeting. That's what's happening there, and that's kind of the logistics of how that strategy works out. So it's a very high leverage approach. We're not paying to show our ads to a ton of people when we're doing retargeting. We're just showing ads to people that have visited our website or engaged with our post or page. So that's called retargeting. Other things, and I already mentioned this, but you can take your postcards, flyers, things like that. If it's very clear, you can try duplicating that through a Facebook ad. A flyer like this, there might be too much writing on that. But like if you have a postcard or a door hanger that's very clear and simple, a lot of times you can just run those as Facebook ads as well. Just take the image that you would send to the printer and you can upload that. And I'll show you some examples of how we do that here in a little bit. Postcards are great because postcards, they're usually using big font. They're easy to read. That translates pretty well to digital. So that's one thing we can do there. And that pretty much covers most of the actual high level part. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go into the ads manager and build out an ad to kind of set this up. You'll want to set up a business manager account. I'm not going to go through that because there's a million videos out there that can tell you how to do it. They're all kind of the same. So we don't really need to spend time doing that, but we want to set up a business manager account. It's business.facebook.com. And then through that, if you don't have a Facebook page, you can set up your Facebook page through there. And that allows you to kind of manage it. But what we want to do is once you have your Facebook account set up, you can set up an ads manager account through that business account. And once you have your account set up, we're going to create a campaign. So through the campaign stage, we're just going to click on create a new campaign. We're going to go to leads and create a new campaign. Through mine, I like to label all of it. I manage a lot of different ad accounts and things like that. So that helps me. For you guys, that this might be the only thing that you're running, so you may not need to get as detailed, but I usually just go with Christmas light leads and wherever I'm getting those leads from, so website or if we do a lead form. But what we've seen that works most is go ahead and pushing leads to your actual website. There is an option where you can do what's called a lead form. And what that does is allows people to request information from you through Facebook. What we found is that it generates a lot of leads, but because it's so easy for people to opt in for, those leads are not very high quality. A lot of times you contact them, you reach out to them, they don't even remember that they opted in. It was just, they didn't have to go through enough steps. So we actually want to pull them from Facebook, push them to our website where they have to actually opt in through our website. Now, one thing, Facebook is constantly updating things. So there's a good chance that like by next year, this training will look very different when you're inside of the ads manager. But I'm going to kind of go through how we set things up and how we encourage people to set things up in their ad account that we see the best results with. So this next category where it says special ad categories, don't worry about that. That's usually if you're doing things financial or political, things like that. Campaign details, we don't need to touch anything here. The only thing we really need to change on this first campaign level is we want to go ahead and turn on ad campaign, advantage campaign budget. And we're just, what it's going to do is we're just going to set our budget for the entire campaign each day, and we can set our daily budget. So depending on how much you want to invest in there, you can set that, whether you want to do $50 a day, $100 a day. What we tend to do as we move into the season, we start out late September for bigger installers, or at the beginning of October for smaller guys. We start with a lower budget. We will bump things up through the month after the first couple of weeks. And then going into November, we're using, our highest daily budget, and then we'll start to turn things back down going into December. And most people, we cut things off about halfway through December. So that just kind of gives you a timeline of the budget. And the way we do it is we just go into the ads manager and we just change it there versus scheduling it. So once you have that set up at the campaign level, we're gonna go next. It's gonna bring us to the ad set level. So this is where we're gonna kind of put in the demographics of where we're actually targeting the ads. We wanna click on the website. That's where we're sending ads. And then we want to maximize the number of conversions. You shouldn't have to do anything there. And then we want to have our pixel set up. So if you haven't set up your pixel, it's going to give you the option of setting up your pixel right here. So you'll go ahead and set that up. I'm not going to go into the details of that, just because depending on what website platform you use, that process is going to be a little bit different. So if you're using one of the bigger names like Squarespace or Wix, things like that, Facebook already integrates with those guys really well. So a lot of times it's super simple to set those up. Through our website template that we give our partners if they're starting out, we use a site called ClickFunnels. And that's a little bit different. But what we'll do is we'll just tell them what the pixel is after you have it set up. We'll just tell them set up lead, and it's going to give you the option to set that up, that pixel. We've already done that, but what it'll do is you'll just come in and tell them complete registration. That's what signing up for essentially a web form is when they request a quote. That's what we call it. You'll copy that code. So they've already set it up for you. You'll go to your website and you'll just add that to your web page. So through your web page, we've created this template for you guys, free to our partners. If you don't have a website, or you want to change, or you don't like your website, you can use this template. You'll just create a ClickFunnels account, and then you can come in and you can change all of this to your service area. But through that, you'll just add the tracking code. You can connect the Facebook pixel there if you want to, or you can add the code manually to the tracking code section right there. And after you do that, just save it, and it will be saved. And then what that's going to do is when someone lands on your page, lands on your thank you page, it's going to tag that device, and it's going to tell Facebook that, hey, there was a conversion here. So Facebook, the ads campaign, can recognize it. So that's setting up the pixel. If you don't use ClickFunnels, just Google it. There's millions of videos out there on YouTube that will tell you how to set that up. We're not going to go into it today just because to save time, that sort of thing. And I would have to go through like 20 different processes to cover them all. But there are tons of videos out there you can search and get that set up. When you're done with that, this next section where it says dynamic creative, it's important for you to click that on. Okay. What this is going to do is this is going to allow us to upload multiple creatives, multiple images, videos, write multiple headlines and multiple pieces of body copy that the campaign is going to run and mix match to see what works best. So you want to make sure that you click that on. If you don't, then it's just going to be one basic ad where you have one image or one video, one headline, one body copy. Budget, we don't need to worry about budget because we've already set that up at the campaign level. Audience control. So this first, what we want to do is target our target market. So we're based out of the Dallas area. So I'm going to show you what that would look like for us. So we're targeting Plano. This is a suburb city of the Dallas, North Dallas area. And we're going to turn that down to 10 miles, right? Then we're going to go ahead and hit Garland. And we're going to go ahead and do 10 miles as well. And then we're going to do Kinney. It sets it at 25, so we're just turning it, we're just tightening it back up. If you're in a smaller town, like say if you were working, you know, Springfield, Missouri, Waco, Texas, something that's like 100,000, you know, 150,000, then you might just target the whole city and the surrounding area just because of the population size. But with North Dallas, like the DFW area, you're talking millions of people, so we're tightening things up. Otherwise, like we're driving across the city and over to Fort Worth or something like that. And then we're going to do Louisville. There it goes. Same thing, we're going to tighten that up to 10-mile radius. Now, when you're targeting a city, most times it won't let you go below 10 miles. So there is a way that we can get super specific. If there was a neighborhood or area that you wanted to target, specifically, what we can do is we can kind of zoom in on that area, and then we can drop a pin. So if you can see where my mouse is, we can click drop a pin. And what that's going to do is that's going to let me just drop a pin placement on any neighborhood, wherever I wanted to. And then what that'll do is it's going to give me the GPS coordinates. But what I can do is now I can tighten that up to a 1 mile radius, 3 mile radius, something like that. So we can get very targeted on where we're trying to focus if we wanted to, you know, drill into a specific neighborhood area that we know is affluent, but maybe, you know, it's a tighter radius around there where the houses around it are not what we want to target. That's how we can do that. So cool little trick or workaround there. And then the next thing, with the new ad manager, Facebook already does this for you. So what we want to do is we want to switch to the original audience options. This is what kind of the older version of how you would do targeting. Facebook essentially tries to optimize to where they just like, hey, let us run your ads for you. But in this case, we don't want to do that because we might be targeting a specific income bracket. So what we're going to do is we're going to click that to say, go to the original audience options. And what that's going to do is that's going to give us some more options. We can target age and demographic. In most cases, you can leave this open because what we're going to do is we're going to tighten it up with the income. So, but if you wanted to, you could say, hey, 30 years plus, 25 years plus, people that might be more likely to be homeowners. And then in the detailed targeting section right here, we want to hit browse. We're going to go to demographics, and we're going to go to financial, income, and then we're going to click on the top 5% and top 10% of household incomes. So now what we're doing is we're targeting people who live in this area, those areas, and people who are in the top 10% income bracket. So now that that's in there, if you want to, you can save this audience for future ad campaigns, so you don't have to go through everything that we just did. You can save it, and then that's there for future uses. And what you'll see is the estimated audience size got tightened down. So before that, it was like in the millions. Once we started saying, hey, this income bracket is going to narrow it down quite a bit.
Hey, Andrew, sorry, I did have someone ask if you can show that again just one more time.
Okay, we'll just kind of go through. So after you go into detailed targeting, so let's just exit out of it. You go to detailed targeting, and you can see it's saying 2.5 million to 2.9 million. That's everybody that lives in that area that we just went through. We're going to go to browse, and it's going to give you sections. So we're going to go to demographics, financial, income. And there, that's going to give you these check boxes. So we can check top 10%, top 5%. And depending on your demographic or your area, if there's a ton of people in that top 10%, then you can go ahead and tighten it down to top 5%. Top 10% is quite a bit. That's a pretty big range. So some of you guys might want to tighten it up even to the top 5%. And again, like I said, you can save that. This placement section, just leave that alone. Facebook already has that preset to advantage placements. That's just going to allow them to pretty much put your ads anywhere that they can put ads. So it's going to adapt your ads for there. So it's going to put you in the stories, the news feed, marketplace, things like that. So just leave that alone. So once you're done with this, this is the ad set level. This is the targeting side of things. Then we're going to go to the ad level. So this is where we're actually creating the ad. I just labeled Christmas light installation to help me with that. If your Facebook page, you'll select your Facebook page here. For most of you guys, it's already going to be selected like it is here. That's the only thing. If you have an Instagram account, you can set it. Again, you do not have to have an Instagram account set up. If you don't, it's just going to, you can still run ads on Instagram. It's just going to run them under your page name. So you don't have to, but if you do, you go ahead and tie it right there. At the ad setup level, we're going to keep it to manual upload, single image or video. We're going to leave this checked on to multi advertisers. That's just telling them that you can run your ad by other advertisers. And then at the media level, we're going to select images. And this, I've already uploaded him just to save time, and I didn't know how things were going to work with being on Zoom and streaming and everything. But you're going to go ahead and select images. Now, what we can do, because at the ad set level, and again, I'll go back to it real quick. We clicked here, dynamic creative. So what that's doing is now when we're on the ad level, that's going to allow us to run multiple images. So in this case, it's going to allow us to run up to 10 images or videos combined. So we're going to select a few images of our work. And again, if you are part of our partnership program and you're new to the industry and you don't have your own images, we actually have images for you guys that we allow you guys to use in your ads, in your marketing, on your websites when you guys are getting started out. And then as your business grows, you have your own images and things, then you can change those out. We're going to throw in a postcard example here. And then this right here is actually a screenshot of the website. We're just going to throw that in there also. So you can kind of see that. And this one, we're going to actually edit it down and we're going to crop it to square. So those are 6 images, and then we're going to grab some of these videos. And again, these videos are available to you guys inside of our partnership program. They're all in here, so you can just download them and upload them to your ads manager. I've already went ahead and done that just to save time, but we're going to go ahead and select it. And again, we can select up to 4, so that's all it's going to 10 total, but it allowed me, 6 images and 4 videos. So that's, we've now got 6 different images. It looks like 4 photos, a postcard, a screenshot of our website homepage, and then 4 videos. And those are the examples of the videos I showed you earlier in the slides. We're going to go ahead and create or leave this check to optimize creative for each person. So what that's going to do is that's just telling Facebook, hey, you can mix and match these. So you can take these headlines, these texts, these these copy, and you can mix and match them to see what works best and customize them for different people. In the primary text section, this is the actual primary, the main copy of your ad. So if you're a partner, again, we have these templates built out for you. So you don't have to figure out and come up with something fancy to say or anything. I've already made these for you guys. So you're just going to copy it. And in this document, you may change it out. So if you're, if we're in Dallas, but if you're in Atlanta, like you're just going to change out these areas and these suburb areas that you're focusing on. You're going to add your website and your business name, but then copy and paste it. And we're going to go to the ads manager and we're just going to paste it in there. And then the formatting's a little off, so you may have to put some spaces in there to break it up so it's not all one big paragraph. And I definitely recommend like putting spaces in there, breaking up the lines, because when people are scrolling and reading, if they just see one big paragraph, it's very intimidating for people and they just lose interest. So some of the, like just a copywriting tip is break up your sentences and your lines so that they're easy to read and it doesn't overwhelm people. And then from there, you're going to be able to go and add your next section. So you go back to the file that we gave you and you can copy the next example. And again, change it out. If you're not in Dallas, change it out to where you're located, put your website in there. And then we're going to add that in here. And then we're going to repeat. I hate this toolbar. It always gets in front of me. We're going to go down to the next section and do the same thing. Copy it and paste it. Again, just switch it out for yourself. Make sure you break these up. And there should be 5 different versions of this for you guys. So you just copy and paste all 5 versions. Keep doing what we just did right here. And what will happen is Facebook will stop you after you do 5 different versions. And then headline, we're going to do the same thing. So we did the same thing for you guys. We created headlines. Actually, they're not in this file, but they should be. I'll have to update that. But headlines, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add different headlines. Christmas light services. We hang Christmas lights. And again, these are the headlines from this that we just did. So we're just taking those, we're copying and pasting them into this section. Holiday lighting. We'll do one more. Slide installation. Now, with these headlines, it's going to allow you to do 5 different versions of this body copy, 5 different headline versions. Go ahead and fill them out. Use all of them. If they allow you to do it and see how it stopped, it doesn't give me the option to do another one. But it's like, they can say 20% off with early installation. This description section, we don't have to put, we don't use this section. You don't need to do anything with that. And then your URL, we're just going to take the URL. I'm just going to take the one from our website, but you would take the URL from your website, your landing page, wherever you're sending them. And we're going to throw that in to the website URL. And once you get that in there, you're going to start seeing the ad preview because you've done enough that the ad preview is going to show up. The call to action button, that's the button on the ad. We recommend either doing learn more or get quote. So most of the time we just go with get quote. We're more straightforward to the point there. So one of those two, either learn more, get quote. I would start with just get a quote. Tracking pixel should already be set up. This would already be pre-clicked. And that's it. You don't have to touch any of this down here. So that's pretty much how we set it up. Once you're done with all of this, then we can just go and hit publish, and it will start running automatically. So if you're not ready to turn these ads on, you can go ahead and just exit out right here, and it'll save everything as a draft. And then whenever you want to turn things on, let's say if you don't want to start running ads right now, you want to start running ads in October or maybe mid-October, then you can, it's all in there. You can just go in there and turn it on, and then whenever you're ready, you just go in and turn it off. For most of you guys, you shouldn't have to touch anything, unless you're like us, where we're kind of working with some bigger businesses, and we're constantly trying and testing different things. So we're in there doing a lot of different things, multiple ad campaigns, trying to learn what works best, so that we can teach that to you. But right now, like everything we've done, this is the best strategy. This is what we see the most results with. So this is what we're focused on training and recommending for you guys to use this season. So once you're done, go ahead and hit publish, and your ads will go through a review process. Usually takes about 24 hours or so, most times less than that, and your ads will start running. And then to give you an example, whenever, like I said, when we created that dynamic ad and we added all of these versions in, we can go to preview, and this will show you what your ad looks like on different platforms. So Instagram feed, profile feed, Facebook Marketplace. So you can kind of go see what your ads are going to look like, stories and reels. And then you can see the variation. So what this is now you can see through one ad campaign, it looks like we're running a ton of ads. They're mix and matching all those headlines, all those pieces of copy, all those images. So people are not seeing the same thing over and over again. It looks like you're running a ton of ads and we just ran one campaign. And through this, we can have them do more variations. So you can just see what this ad campaign is. We got a postcard, we got images, we have a video. We have a screenshot of the front of our website. We have more images, more videos. And essentially it creates literally like hundreds of different variations of your ad. And it just keeps things really nice and fresh, so you're not just pounding somebody with the same thing over and over again. So that's it, guys. Once you do that, just hit publish, and then I'll go ahead and just do it. You hit publish, it'll load like it is right now. In a second. And then once it's done, it will go through a review process. When you're in the campaign level, it'll say in draft. And it's just going through. Actually, that's a different one I worked on earlier. Delete that. Oh. So what it'll do is it'll say no ads for a while once it goes through the training, and then it'll turn to active. So that's it, guys. That's how we set it up. Our ads, that's how we like I do ads for installers. That's how I set that up. It's the results that we see. And this can be whether you're a small business or you're an experienced installer. The only difference is cranking up your budget. So if you want to scale your business and you're pushing for growth, you can crank that up depending on your budget for the year. Again, we recommend somewhere between 5 to 10% to set for your marketing budget, your overall marketing budget. So a portion of that, maybe you do, $2,000 or $3,000 for Facebook ads, $1,000 for postcards, and another $500 for print. But that's kind of how we would divide it up. So if there's from here on, we can go into questions real quick. And like I said, all of this will be available to you guys for our partnership program. If you don't know about our partnership program, it's completely free. There's a link in the chat box. You'll get links. If you go to our website, you just go to the partnership program tab. Has all the details about it. It's completely free to sign up for now. That's something that will change in the future, and partners that are already signed up will be grandfathered in, but it's completely free to sign up right now. And we've literally put like tens of thousands of dollars of trainings, of material, of our processes, how we run our business, Everything that we just went through today, ads, your copy, this training will be posted to this page for a while, but then it will be taken down and it'll be exclusively available to our partners and trainings or trainees. But you can go to this page, you can see everything that's involved, from our sales process, our marketing sales toolkit, all of these examples, all of these materials. The website, we've created this website for you guys. We've pretty much looked around at some of the best websites out there, and we've kind of combined those into a template for you guys. So if you don't have one, if you're just starting out or you just don't like yours and you want to change that up, this is available for you in there, to set up. And then yeah, so there's just tons of great stuff in there. All you gotta do is apply. The only thing that we ask of you is that you commit to making us your primary supplier whenever possible. So if we have the product available, then we ask that you just kind of make a commitment to go to us first. But in the event that we don't have the product, or it's a specialty product, or we're sold out, you are free to go ahead and source that from other sources. We also have an advanced product program where a lot of our partners will go ahead and we'll calculate and ship them products so they have it on hand, and they don't have to go to suppliers locally. They use what they need, they pay for what they need. At the end of the year, we take back what they don't use. So it's a great way to just kind of be set up to have your supply on hand. Definitely things like Roofline, C9, stuff like that, that you're going to use a lot of. Great ways to kind of a great system to set up. So that's all in our partnership program. And with that said, like I said, all
Are
these.
you ready for some questions? We got some good
Yeah,
ones in here.
I'm hitting that hour mark, so that's it. All of these are in there. I just covered all of this. We do have a lead generation program where we're tied through Warriors for Light. It's another way for you to generate some SEO leads. SEO is a very difficult strategy because it requires a lot of content creation. It's very hard for Christmas installers to just be competitive in that area. So through our partnership with Warriors for Light, we do have a lead generation program through that. Through our partners get exclusive discounts for as well. We also have a partnership with Cheaper Than Dirt signs, so our partners also get discounts on yard signs and things like that. So all of that's through the partnership program. And yeah, that's it. So with that said, yeah, let's do some questions. So if you have any questions, let me know.
And I've answered some of these, so if I need to circle back, I can, and I can help you with some of these as well, Andrew. So Zach said he's not good at being creative. Where can he get the ads made for us, or does somebody have actual ads that we could put our contact into for our market? Yes, that's it. Everything that Andrew just shared, Zach is a partner, so I will show you how to access all of that. Zach, Michael asked, what are the best key phrases for this business?
So one of the great things about the Christmas light business is that it really sells itself. So you just tell people what it is that you offer, and just be clear about that. Now, we have all of that in these ads copy and everything that we've created for you guys. So you don't have to go through and think through what to say. We've already done that for you. You're just changing out your business, certified lights with your business, the target area with your target area. So you don't have to think through those things. But like what we found, one of the best phrases is Christmas light services, holiday light service, Christmas light installation. We hang Christmas lights. It's very, very straightforward.
Like Andrew said earlier, don't overthink it.
There you go.
Ron said, do you help with developing contracts? Ron, I'm assuming you're talking about like a sales contract. We do have a template available on our Google Drive for our partners. So apply for the partnership. Let's see here. Let me scroll down. We've got a question. Do you use lookalike audiences based on your existing client list or other lookalike audiences?
You can definitely, when you set your pixel up for your website, you can create a lookalike audience that will track everybody who sees your ad. So at the ad set level, if you wanted to do that, in the audience section right here, all you would have to do is go to the custom audience section, and it will have all your website visitors. So I didn't do that in this setup because I'm using the Certified Lights account, and their lookalike audience is not for installer, or not people looking to have lights installed, but actual Christmas light installers. So it's different. But you would just have that there. So anybody that comes to your site, you can add that audience into the section. So if people come to your site, we can retarget them. We can also find other people that look like them.
What do you use to send quotes? We use a simple Excel agreement that we turn into a PDF, and it's worked well for us over the last 17 years. Amy would like to know, where do we get access to the website? And I'm pretty sure she's talking about the website that you showed that's available to partners, Andrew.
So this will be through the partnership program. I believe it's in the marketing bonus section. And through this document, there is, yeah, right here. So through this document, website, Google, Facebook ad templates, we're going to have Google templates in here for you, Facebook body copy. There's some examples of kind of what that looks like. But through this link right here, it will take you to the demo. So once you click that link, it'll take you to ClickFunnels. If you don't have an account, you just set up an account. It will allow you to import that website into your ClickFunnels account, and then from there, inside like the editor, you can just change out the website. So there should be another training in there that walks you through that process. That it's a little bit more than what we covered today. That's really more of like setting things up before you even turn on the ads. But yeah, that's where you would get that.
Okay. Do you offer marketing services, and is that part of the partnership?
I do offer marketing services. It is not part of the partnership. I do offer consultations through the partnership. So a lot of times partners will come in, they'll schedule a meeting with me. We'll look at their strategy, what they need to do, help them put a plan together for them to go implement. And then from there, if they want to implement it themselves, they can. If they're like, I don't want to touch anything, I want somebody to do it for me, then we can have that conversation as an additional fee.
Excellent. Uh-oh, hold on, sorry, I lost myself. Okay, here we go. Have you tested messenger leads?
We have, and they can work as well. So we the three that we've tested the most, and that we're really always testing, is sending ads to our website, capturing leads through Facebook lead forms, which is essentially the same thing that they would do on your website by opting in. They just do that through Facebook instead. And then Messenger as well, where they start a conversation through Facebook Messenger or Instagram Messenger. What we found is that the leads to the website tend to be the best leads, and it simplifies the process for a lot of people. The lead form leads are not as high quality because it's just so easy for people to opt in for. And then the messenger leads, you have to just make sure that you're on Messenger all the time. A lot of people don't want to be on Messenger all the time. So they want leads coming in, going to email, then they can process them through their business processes. So you can do it. It is an effective strategy. You just have to be willing to be on Facebook and follow up with those leads constantly. So just something to think about.
Zach asked, I just set up a boosted post through my business suite. Is that the same thing?
Yes and no. So technically when you boost a post, so the way a boost works is you essentially post something on Facebook on your business page, you get the option of boosting it. That means you can put another $5 to $10, $20 or $50 behind it to push that out to people. So technically when you do that, you are now running an ad. The problem with a boosted post is that you're limited on your targeting, and you're also limited on like your tracking and data and things like that. So instead of boosting posts, what we recommend is actually setting up an ad campaign in the ads manager and running it that way, the way I just showed you. But you can boost a post. So it's, I mean, it can work. It's just harder to track, and there's some limitations to it.
Okay. Is anyone using a field service software like Jobber? We do not use Jobber. We use Field Routes. We've used Field Routes for the last 4 or 5 years. Works really well for us, but I know Jobber is one of the lead softwares for this industry. It's a little bit more on the pricey side, in my opinion, to get all the bells and whistles. That's just my opinion, but I know a lot of people really use it and they really like it. So if that works for you, excellent. Hold on, there's a lot of people talking about Jobber in here. Hold on. All right, is it possible to track which image or copy is performing the best when putting them all in one ad?
Yes, it is. Through the tracking and the insights, you can see which ones are working better. So what that the dynamic creative does, though, is it optimizes for those things automatically. So as the campaign runs, Facebook's going to show the ads and the images and everything that performs better over time. So it kind of self-optimizes for you, but you can see the insights through it. Yes.
Okay. So what's the link where I can see the ad photos and the pre-made ads? That is through our partnership Google Drive. If you're a partner, you'll have access to it. You would have been invited to it. If you are not a partner, apply. If you are, Jose, just let me know and I can make sure you have access. That's not a problem. Any tips on how to get Google My Business set up? It got really strict and it's very hard as of right now.
I agree with that. There's not really like a trick or hack around it. I would say the best advice I can get is when you set it up, like be as thorough as you can the first time around. Because if you end up doing something and you try to create a second account and Google starts to see that there's 2 different accounts, then it gets messy and then they freeze things. And then you have to kind of like go through extra communication and back and forth to get that set up. So it's really the only advice I get. It is getting more complicated. I agree with that for sure.
Of course it is. It's Google.
Yeah.
Will this call be available for download for attendees? It will not be available for download. We will have it. I'll probably have it up on the website under that link that I've shared a few times for the partnership program. It should be up tomorrow. We'll leave it up for a couple weeks and then it will be removed and go solely for our partners.
So if you go to our partnership program page and you go down to the bottom, you'll have our monthly webinar series that are posted. And like she said, this will be posted for a limited time, and then it's just going to go in the partnership program.
Yeah. Kevin said sign up for sure because Andrew is the man, which we totally agree with. We like that. How can I get a consultation set up?
So the best way to do it would be to reach out to me in email. So just any of those emails, marketing emails that you get, most of them, if you reply back to them, it will go back to my invoice. If for whatever reason it replies to, occasionally some of them I set to reply to like Ashley or one of our team, they'll forward it to me. And then we'll just kind of coordinate a time to set up. Usually calls last anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. We just kind of go through your goals, what's going on, look at your marketing material, things like that, and put a plan together for you.
Do you recommend getting verified for Facebook ads before running any ads to avoid getting banned?
So through verified, I don't think you really need to worry about it. You can, but Facebook is pretty, they've become more lenient with their ads before. So when I started doing Facebook ads like 10 years ago, they were real strict on like how many words you can have on it and things like that. And since then, over the years, they've kind of really loosened up some of their guidelines. So I have yet to see an ad account get banned that through our installers. I think I've only seen one have issues, and that's just because their ad account credit card kept declining, and that annoys Facebook after a while. So if you follow what I did, you shouldn't have any problems with that, though.
Okay. The website page is included in the partnership ? Technically, yes, but you do have to have a ClickFunnels subscription to make sure it's live, just so you know.
Yeah, so you'll set it up through ClickFunnels. That's the actual like website builder. So pretty much every website you have, with the exception of like WordPress, you have a hosting platform, whether that's Squarespace, Wix. In this case, we use ClickFunnels. So there is a monthly service fee, but with the Christmas light business, a lot of times you can set it up, go live for 3 months, and then turn it off the rest of the year if you don't want to pay for it throughout the other months. If you're a bigger company, if you've been around for a while, I definitely recommend keeping it up year round. But yeah, that's what we use.
Kevin would like to know what a good starter budget to actually see returns.
So I like to tell people in general, I usually recommend you spend what it would cost a customer. So if your average install job is say $750, then that's what I would run as a test. So that's at least you could see if like I'm putting $1 in and I'm getting $1 back. Now it's not going to be profitable because you have all your expenses, but at least you can see if you get to that and everything. But what we found is in most cases, it does not take that. You can run a test for $500. You can run it for $50 a day for 10 days, and you can figure out if it's working or not. In most cases, we are seeing, depending on your market, we see leads come through from anywhere from the cheap end would be closer to $10. Sometimes they break even below $10, all the way up to about 25 to 30, just depending on how competitive your market is and how tight you're targeting. But from there, if you're doing, $50 a day, $500 budget for 10 days, like you should be getting a couple leads a day that you can call and follow up with and test. And of course, you'd be doing other marketing as well. If you're a bigger installer, then you might be spending hundreds of dollars a day, just pushing as many leads as you can. So it varies.
A side note, but also very relevant to this, I would say, please make sure you are tracking your sources. Okay, please make sure you are tracking your sources, because that's really the only way you're going to know if your Facebook ads are doing well, if your Google ads or your yard signs or anything else is working well, is by asking those customers, how did you hear about us? That should be one of the first questions you ask your customer. Because if you're dropping all this money into Google, but most of your leads are coming from Facebook, well, you need to shift your marketing dollars, because now it's being wasted on a lead gen program that's not working for you. Okay, please track your sources. Okay, Frankie said, I still have customers giving me good ratings, but they never show up on Google reviews. I would probably double check and see where those reviews are coming through. If they're coming through your software, it may not be pushing those reviews to Google. That's more than likely what's happening, or they're just sending you an email or something along those lines, but you have to provide them a link for them to go and leave a review on Google. Okay. Zach said, Ashley and certified team, thank you for all your effort you put in to help us out. I look forward to making a large purchase with you guys this season. Zach, thank you so much for being in the partnership program. We love all of our partners equally, no matter if they spend a little bit or a lot of it. Cam said, do you recommend setting up an account for Yelp to get leads?
You can. We don't. Yelp usually tends to be more of like a budget, budget seeking source pool. So that's kind of like with Christmas light services, like a lot of people that find people on Yelp, things like that are usually shopping for a budget. But you definitely can. You can set up a Yelp account and get leads through Yelp for sure. Just test it out. Everything we talk about, it's going to be a little bit different for each market, each person, whether you're high end, low end, all of that. So everything we do, you're going to have to kind of tweak and test things as you go.
Yeah. When people fill out your get a quote form, do you try to filter people by their budget, or do you have some other way of not wasting time on low margin jobs? I can answer that one if you want, Andrew. So now the website that we use for our installation business does have a section where they can choose their budget, and it starts at my minimum price, right? So my minimum price is $1,500. We're not going to do anything less than that. So that's where my budget's going to start. Now, if they click tree wrapping, bushes, roof line, ridges, they click everything and it's $1,500, that's their budget. I'm going to go to them and say, hey, the budget's too low for what you chose. Do you still want to move forward? Or would you like me to quote up something else that's a little bit more in your budget? I'm not going to waste my time by going and creating some massive thing that they're just not going to be able to pay for. So yes, any way that you possibly can, please try and filter out those customers, and make sure that information is on your website. That way they're not surprised. And then when you do have that initial communication with that customer, you are letting them know, hey, this is my minimum. Does this work for your budget? It's okay if it doesn't, but you want to obviously end on a good note. Okay, Joel said, ask for the source, follow up, and never end your line with a mail. Joel was at our training last week, and I said, if you remember anything from me, it is those 3 things. So excellent, Joel. Absolutely love that. Nick said, what is the best budget split percentage for Facebook and Google ads?
So it really depends again. I don't have an exact answer for that. If you're just starting out, I would lean heavier towards Facebook. They're just easier to run. You get cheaper leads. It's more budget friendly. As you grow and you take over your market more and more, and you have a bigger ad budget, then going and taking over Google ads might be more of your strategy.
All right. Alex asked, have you had success offering Halloween lights? And if so, is your pricing structure? I will say that Certified Lighting Pros, our installation company, does not do Halloween lighting. I know that it's very popular across the United States. Our market is very old school, classic Christmas. Think old money, right? So that's just not really a good service for our market. From what I've heard is that people will tend to offer Halloween lighting, your purple, green, oranges, and then they will charge just like a replacement, like a bulb fee, to go out and switch those over to warm white or red or green or whatever the color theme is. What that pricing looks like, I'm not 100% sure. It really comes down to what's going to be the most, what's the word I'm thinking of? It completely slipped my mind. The most profitable. There we go. Whatever's going to be the most profitable for you to have to go out, get the ladder out, get up on the roof, and change those bulbs out. Cody, thanks for joining, even if you're a little bit late. Yes, the recording will be on our website. It's going to be at our partnership program page. I'll go ahead and send that link to you right now. Joel said, this will be my first year, and I can say becoming a partner is the best thing that could have happened to me. Everyone at Certified Lights is knowledgeable, helpful, and genuine. I highly recommend the partnership. Love it. Absolutely love it. Nick said, we have a lack of targeting options here in Canada on Facebook. Can't target by income. Any workarounds or alternative targeting you would recommend?
So if there's, that's really done at the ad level. So unfortunately, there's not from a setup standpoint. Now, what you can do is you can use your copy in your ad and your images and things to try to filter people out. So a lot of times, some of the things we'll do is we'll list a starting price, like, hey, starting at $750, starting at, like, ours is $1,500. So that starting price kind of helps filter out people that may just be very budget focused or don't have the income, that sort of thing. So you're going to target the general area. You're going to use your ad copy to filter out those people, your ad images. So showing high-end houses, and then mentioning the starting price should help with that.
Yes. Well, I mean, that is all of the questions that we have so far. I'll give it a couple more minutes to see if anyone has any other questions they want to drop in. And Andrew will send an email out once it has been added to, the recording has been added to that partnership page. That way you'll remember to go back and rewatch it if you join late, or if you would just want to take some notes.
Yeah, y'all should get that. Usually we're pretty good about getting it up within 24 hours. So, or at least by the end of the day tomorrow sometime.
Yeah. Do y'all do lighting for weddings as well? We do, yes.
Wedding lighting is pretty cool too, because you can actually target people that are engaged. A lot of times people put whether they're engaged or not in their Facebook profile, and you can target that. So that's a really easy one.
What percentage should you split ads on Facebook and Instagram?
So when you set it up the way we did, you're not splitting it between the two. The campaign is going to just do that on its own. So we don't really set a split for that. If you wanted to, you could set up separate campaigns and only choose to run ads on Instagram or only choose to run ads on Facebook and see how that goes. But Facebook is pretty good. Their algorithm's pretty good about getting in front of those people. A lot of times people's Instagrams are tied to their Facebook. So you can kind of target both of those doing the same campaign. So we recommend just doing it the way we just went through, and run it on both platforms at the same time.
Yes. Someone asked, how does lighting for the weddings work? Really, that would need like its own webinar. So we won't get into that today. But if you guys are interested, we can always tee that up for wedding season, and we can go over that. Not that we're, gurus at it. We've learned a lot. We've done a lot of holiday lighting. We've, 17 years of experience. We don't have as much experience in weddings, but it's very, very different. Anyone asked for Hanukkah lights, was told Hanukkah lights in some Jewish communities was popular. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's Hanukkah, there's Diwali, there's a lot of other holidays that are done during the same time, which is why, when I'm speaking to a customer, I'm saying holiday simply because I don't know exactly what they celebrate. But regardless, lights are festive and we can do just about anything. I will say we've got some really large snowflakes, 3 feet, 4 feet, and 5 feet. And those are really great options for your Jewish customers. We've got a couple that use those, and it's still a way to be festive without, having to throw a wreath up and it seem a little too Christmassy. Okay. No. Other than that, I think that is it. Thank everybody so much for joining us. Hopefully you learned a lot and were able to take notes and follow the process as Andrew worked through that. I do apologize for this giant blue streak going down the middle of the screen.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, something new for us. So I'm going to go check the settings to make sure our next webinar doesn't have some giant blue marks on there for you. We're super excited for this season. If you guys have any questions regarding this, the partnership, anything like that, I'm going to go ahead and drop my email in here for you. That way you have it. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. Oh, hold on. Cam, I will get to you. I see you. I'm more than happy to answer any kind of questions that you have. Feel free to shoot me an email anytime. With that being said, I hope everybody has an excellent Wednesday. Have a great season, and we look forward to supporting you.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming.